Greetings. We are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with you.
Hello, how are you doing?
We are doing so very, very well, thank you. And how are you faring there on planet Earth?
I was sick, but I'm doing better, so thanks.
Yes, you are. Yes.
So I guess I was gonna ask, whenever Daniel is channeling you, are you just sending thoughts to him and then he's translating those thoughts into English?
It's more than just a thought, really. It's an energetic transmission that he gets to interpret with the ability that he has to interpret energy into an idea, a concept, a message, an answer to a question. So there will always be that interpretation. It's like a work of art, really, where if you look at the work of art from a different angle, from a different perspective, because you're a different person, you'll get something different out of it. And that's why each channeler is telling a different story right now, because of the interpretation that they're doing of the energetic block that they're receiving from whatever being or collective that they are tapped into.
So if the person was going to be speaking in English, does the being that's being channeled, do they have to know English, or no, not really?
It helps. In other words, it certainly is beneficial for us then to track what has been said in order to get an idea of any clarification that might be needed. But yes, the entities will eventually learn whatever language is being spoken just because they benefit from learning it.
Yes, I'm interested in channeling. I've tried in the past. I haven't been quite able to be as successful with it as I'd like. Do you have any tips?
Consistency, persistence. It takes time to do what Daniel here is doing, just like it would take you time to learn a foreign language as an adult. It takes a little bit longer because you're a little bit more set in your English speaking ways to suddenly start learning another language. And it's very similar to that. And if you see it like that, or like learning how to play a musical instrument, know that you need to put the hours and you need to keep picking up the instrument if you're going to get comfortable with it, if it's going to start to feel like it's an extension of you, like it's a part of you. And that's what channeling really becomes with more time that you spend in it. And you also just benefit every time you sit to channel, whether you say anything at all or not. It's very much like meditation. There's no such thing as a bad one. It's just uh, more time spent equals better results.
Okay. So I was interested in the gene editing technology that's called CRISPR. Um, will our futuristic technology be like how will it be used in that way? Like, can we turn off cancer cells, or can we genetically modify dogs where they're not allergic to chocolate or sick from chocolate, things like that?
You can do that, and that certainly would be a path that you would go down if you weren't ascending. But as you ascend, all of that becomes unnecessary. And in fact, a lot of these things that you have that are more technological just represent powers that you already have within yourselves, powers of healing, creating vibrations, using sound, using crystals, using your hands and your intention. And certainly some people are doing this, and some more than others are interested in it. But once you get into the technological side of making those types of changes, there's always availability of the technology to the average person that becomes an issue, cost that becomes an issue. There are potential side effects, there's things not being calibrated just right and possibly doing more harm than good. And so you really do want to use your internal technology to achieve everything that you could using any type of gadget that you have outside of you.
And as far as like ETs having medical beds and it farly advanced healing technology, would you mind talking about that?
Well, it's so advanced that it doesn't have the same types of issues that something that you would create there on Earth would have at this time, at this level of your consciousness. In other words, they're not using the same Western medical approaches to healing as if you had a gadget in your hospital like an MRI that does something. In this case, it's more using crystals and sound and water and all of the very advanced technological modalities for healing that exist in other parts of the galaxy.
What can you tell me about the Zetas?
They are like your long lost cousins. They are very, very human like. They are, in fact, what they represent is a potential future for humanity, where if humanity did go down that path of relying more heavily on technology and ignoring the effects of what you're doing on your planet and on Mother Nature and on your bodies with GMOs and pollution and all the things that you're doing to your environment and to your food supply, they represent that cautionary tale to all of you of what could happen to humankind. Now, the fact that they came along and saw humanity as being very similar to them and seeing you all as a good match genetically to them, and that you had something that they needed, it also shows you that you're not going down that path because of these interactions that you've had with the Zetas. They've affected the collective consciousness of humanity. They have let you all know that your emotions are important, that connecting with nature and being kind and gentle to your planet, these are important things, and as a result, you're not going to go down that path. And because they went down that path, you now have the hybrids, which are going to be the bridge that gets you to full ET contact throughout the galaxy. So it all has a happy ending for the Zetas, but they went through the very, very tough trial of losing their planet because they could not live on it anymore. It was too polluted.
As far as the kids, what do they eat, and what about school?
Oh, they're learning constantly because they're very intelligent. They have that Zeta mind and they have that human emotionality. So they're both emotionally intelligent and mentally adept as well. And so they pick things up very quickly when they are being taught about something having to do with Earth or humanity or science and technology or spirituality. They're very, very good learners, so that's not really an issue. They will mostly eat fruits and vegetables and juices, algae, that sort of thing, because they're of such a high vibration. That's all their bodies want.
I'm sorry, so are the Zetas a type of gray hybrid, or
Well, gray is a large sort of category, like saying humanoid or saying alien.
okay.
So they are gray, but they're different than other grays that have been more associated with the AI. The Zetas are not androids. They're not created by other beings. They were very naturally evolved beings on their world.
Can you tell me about the mycelial network with mushrooms?
Well, very much like the trees have their communication and their network, their collective consciousness, so do the mushrooms. And that collective consciousness allows them to be in contact with each other at all times, and that you'll often see mushrooms growing on trees. So they're very much related in that way, and that level of consciousness allows them to explore without going anywhere the entire universe.
I guess it's very interesting as far as like cutting edge technology and what is coming with ET contact. And I think it would also be really cool to like look back and say that, this is what's been talked about, and this is worth listening to. Your channel of messages. Um, what is your opinion on it? Mhm.
Well, our opinion is that it's inevitable.
Mhm.
It's a matter of just working out the details at this point of how it's going to best serve you all in terms of the way that it will happen and uh, the timing of it, so that it has the best possible effect to expand consciousness rather than to promote fear and to get people uh, building bunkers and bomb shelters and so on.
Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
We would like you to all know that this time that you've been through recently has been somewhat of a test that you gave yourselves to see how you would respond, and that more people responded with compassion than responded with anger, fear, and so on. And therefore, the growth of the collective consciousness was enormous, even though those who were responding with anger and fear got a lot of the headlines, and a lot of the spotlight was shown on people fighting over mask wearing and things of that nature. What you really have is an extension of the human network that now makes you feel like you are all connected in a very big way. And when there was suffering in any part of the world or any part of your country, there was a lot of love and healing energy being sent to those areas. And that's what it's all about. That's what you're all there to do for each other and with each other. And you absolutely passed the test that you gave to yourselves.
That's awesome. I was gonna ask, do you ever foresee like Daniel doing an interview with ETs, or would it be like a commonplace thing that maybe, there would be interviews and people would upload them online?
Yes, that will be commonplace. And yes, he is one of the ones who will be doing that.
Awesome. That sounds exciting.
It is. Yes.
Hmm. I know there's very like kind of like human activities like ping pong, chess. I was gonna ask about like the Rubik's Cube. Are any of extraterrestrials interested in the Rubik's Cube, and how fast at solving them are they? Because the world record is like 3.5 seconds for Earth right now for the 3x3 cube.
Yes, well, we wouldn't even have to pick up the cube in order to solve it. So, other ETs, it really depends on how developed they are. So, there's a wide spectrum of physical ETs out there. And of course, some, again, would simply levitate the cube and move it with their mind, and it would be over before it started, essentially. And others would look at it curiously and wonder why people would create such a thing and what the purpose of it is. And others would be examining it more energetically and pick up on all the people who have ever touched that cube. So there's a wide variety of responses to it, but really it was somewhat like a crop circle, in that the main purpose of it coming to your world was to get you to expand your mind.
Yes, it's very cool. And it seems very exciting to, not only have the internet and be on the edge of ET contact, to be able to have those interactions online and see, what it's really going to be about as far as, meeting our ET counterparts.
Yes, indeed.
Hmm.
Much fun to come.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I guess we're pretty low on time, so it was a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, absolutely. Much love to you.
Mhm. Love you too. Thank you.
Yes. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.